Welcome to the CrossFit Max podcast.
All right, beautiful people. I'm excited to get this episode out to you guys, but first we have the intro. Now, at the release of this episode on November 15th, we are having a Black Friday sale until Friday, November 24th, where if you spend $150 on any products inside the gym, we will be discounting you guys 20%. That means if you want to get any of the cool CrossFit Max swag, the cool crop tops, the extremely comfortable hoodies, the epic CrossFit Max retro t-shirt, if you want to get any of the incredible 5-star formula supplements, we got the Isolate protein, the protein bites, we got some good vitamins from Omega, vitamin D, we got some elements in store. We even have some Rogue speed ropes. So if you're looking to work on those double unders, we got you covered. For any of the products in store at the gym, if you spend over $150, we will be discounting you 20%. So go get yourself some cool CrossFit Max swag, some really good supplements, and save yourself some money at the same time. All right, let's get right into it. All right, let's go. What's up, guys?
You sounded like a character in a movie.
Let's go.
A Disney movie.
No, that's Mario. Come on, that's not Disney.
Oh, sorry. I'm not.
But
I
think
movies.
someone told me that you can watch the new Mario movie on Disney or on Amazon. I can't remember now. I'm drawing a blank. But I do want to watch
There's
it.
a Mario movie? I thought
Yeah,
that was
new
a
one.
video game.
I think it came out last year.
Wait, there's already one?
There's already one, yeah.
And now there's a second one?
No. It was out in theaters.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, random banter topic here. What's up, guys? You're with the most
Healthiest
podcast host ever. You got Susie and Brandon here.
What's up, guys?
Banter topic.
Literally spend the last 3 podcast episodes talking about not getting sick.
And we got it. The inevitable has happened.
Because all of our members are disgusting. No, I'm
No.
just kidding.
Don't say that.
I'm just kidding. But there is a lot of exchange of fluids.
If you need to edit this, is bad.
I'm not editing this. It's hilarious.
Anyways, we got the bug. We got a cold. We got it sick, however you want to call it. We got a virus. And we've been fighting it for the last few days. I am towards the end of it. Or I'm almost done it now.
And I'm in the middle.
And you're towards the end, I would say now.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yep. But this last week has been just a roller coaster of emotions.
Yes.
And we had back-to-back-to-back podcasts leading up to just building a healthy body. We started with the immune system. Then we talked about balanced nutrition or the balanced approach to nutrition.
We talked about seasonal depression.
We talked about seasonal depression, and all 3 of those things kind of hit at once.
And now we're depressed and sick. No, not true.
But I think something to note is that, like we've said, it's especially for our jobs when we're working
inevitable with the
so
public.
close to the public. We're literally hands-on with people. I mean, yeah, it was inevitable to happen. But that being said, you might say to yourself, or there might be some listeners be like, well, see, you got sick. It's inevitable to happen. But the reality is that we didn't get
that sick.
I had a sore throat for maybe 2-ish days, maybe a day and a half to 2 days. I've just been a little bit congested, but I never got fever.
No chills.
Never got chills or aches or anything like that.
No, same.
Yeah.
Same. It's mostly just, it sounds worse than it is because it's one of those things where like you're stuffy, so you sound sick.
Yep.
But
energy levels a little bit lower.
Yeah, just like a little tired and sniffly.
A little sniffly, yeah. And I think that's something to note again is that it's inevitable that you are eventually going to get sick.
Like how your body reacts to it is going to depend on
how strong your immune system is.
Yeah, which I feel like considering the amount of germs and things that we're exposed to, the fact that we're only like mildly sick is a testament for the fact that we've been making sure we're getting our good nutrition. We've been taking our vitamin D and our supplements. We've been working out.
Vitamin C as well.
Yes, lots of vitamin C, especially in the last week. So yeah.
What's that company called of that vitamin C pack that we've been taking? Do you know?
No idea. I got it at the pharmacy.
Shoot. If you guys can get like a vitamin C, we should have mentioned that in the.
We have like these. They're like little sachets, and you put it in your water, and it makes it like
it's
a
called
juice.
Boost C or something. No, that's not it.
No, it's
Boost is a different like protein. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Darn, I was trying to remember the name. Anyways, and also.
I just got the immune boosting vitamin C sachets from the pharmacy.
Yep. Yeah. Something that we hear often is the amount of sick that people go through.
Right.
Like, for example, a lot of people, when you catch a virus, people tend to get like infections after that. People get ear infections or sinus infections and stuff like that. They'll get fever. So
I feel like fever is the worst of all the symptoms.
Yeah.
So
also like
I'm glad we
nausea, like getting actual sick, and all those things that come with it. So we're pretty strong on that aspect of things, which was good.
Yeah, I feel like we dodged the brutal parts of sickness, and now we just have like the congestion, which is like the annoying sick.
Yep.
I would say it's more irritating than it is debilitating.
Yep. But we did have a really epic event, which was our neon workout. That was a really, really fun night.
Major success. Was bumping in the gym.
DJ Navidad put on a show. He had a different setup.
Outstanding.
He had a different setup with his lights. Were slightly different this time. He brought in 2 extra speakers as well. And
the place was a vibe.
The playlist was sick. The setup was cool. We had the most amount of people also at an event.
Yeah.
76 people participated in the workout.
That's our biggest event to date.
And it was freaking awesome.
It was so fun. Honestly, those moments are such pinch me moments.
What was your experience like as a participant in the workout?
Okay. As a participant in the workout, I will say the upper body section of the workout was so hard.
Okay, well, let's let the listeners know how we broke it down.
So there was 3 sections.
Yeah.
And it was, you work for 40 seconds?
45 seconds on, 15 seconds off.
And there were 3 sections, and there's 7 stations per section, and you do all the stations twice.
Yeah.
And then you move on to the next one. So there was like a cardio station. That's where I started.
Cardio.
And core.
Cardio
and core station, which is where I started. And you do all of that for like 14 minutes.
Yep. Rest 3 minutes.
And then there was an upper body station. That was the one that I did second. I found that one the spiciest of the bunch.
Yeah.
Workout for 14 minutes there. And then the final one, which was more of a lower body focused section, which I found the most fun. So I was happy to finish on that one.
Nice.
But the whole thing was super, super fun. I really liked it. It's fun to work out with my friends. It's fun to see people working out with like their families. There was a lot of parents with their kids working out.
We had some
not
partners.
Like young kids, just regular kids who were like 12, 13, 14.
Yeah.
But it was just really cool to see.
The group of 4, where it was Katie and her son Tom and Carol with her son Jesse.
I know, and
really
they were so cute because they were both wearing the matching pink Cardio Ain't Hardio shirts.
Yep.
And I love to see it. Anyways, it was so wholesome. And yeah, it definitely was a pinch me moment.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was fun to have the microphone back in my hands. That's always
Brandon
fun.
loves his microphone.
It's always fun
His cold was just starting that night, so you had a nice few voice cracks for us on the microphone.
I had to be mindful because my throat was starting to really hurt.
Yeah,
and
that was
you're
like
emceeing in front of 76 people, so I had to be super mindful of how I was projecting my voice. And yeah, it happened twice where my voice cracked a little bit.
It was perfect. I loved it. It was amazing.
Once at the end, which was one of the more evident ones, I was like, damn it, I almost did it.
We almost made it.
Yeah. But fun.
The event was super successful. People are already excited for the next one. So hopefully have another one in the end of like January, maybe.
Hopefully beginning of January. Beginning of January. Let's aim for beginning. Yeah. That's the goal.
Okay.
Beginning to middle.
Start of 2024.
Yeah. So
Oh my gosh, it's going to be 2024 super soon.
wow. Yeah, which is crazy. But yeah, on that note, let's move on from the banter topic.
We're
or actually,
moving on.
before we do, for you CrossFit Max members,
Oh.
December 9th, holiday party. Save the date. That is
Mark
the
your
next
calendar.
event. That is non-physical activity.
There will be no working out in the evening at the party. It will just be lots of food and alcohol for those who partake,
Yep.
and
Lots of fun.
lots of games. It's going to be super fun. And if you haven't hit attending on our Facebook event, for those of you who are members, do it, because otherwise there will be no seat or chair for you to sit in.
It's all right. We're all going to stand anyways. Stand and party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Okay. Nailed it. Banter topic. Check. Let's move on.
Okay. Next.
We
Are we going to do the meat
on...
and potatoes now, or are we going to like throw people off and do like client of the week or something?
No. Let's keep client of the week for.
Ooh, you
for
thought you were going to get it now,
end
but you're
here.
not.
in the middle or at the end. Who knows? At the beginning.
Maybe just randomly while Brandon's talking later, I'll just drop it.
Drop it. Wow. All right. Well, we are at the tail end of week 12 of 12.
Yes.
And there have been some athletes in our gym who have been
Many athletes.
killing it. Everyone in the gym has been killing it, but it's really cool to see people who have really taken their fitness and their health really serious since week 1. There have been many people who have hopped in between, started at our gym,
Yep.
and they have all been crushing it as well. But there are certain people who have been from week 1 who have been super duper consistent.
Yeah, I feel like maybe in case it's not super clear what we're talking about, we do work in 12-week cycles at CrossFit Max.
What do you mean
and
work?
So
Who do we work? Gotta work your body.
is that a song?
We're doing 12-week workout training blocks.
Yes.
So when I set up the program here, I set up a few major priorities that I want people to be focusing on, and a
We
few
kind
of
get a
those.
benchmark at the beginning, and then we test ourselves after 12 weeks, which is the week that we're on right now.
Yep. So there have been people who have tested their sumo deadlift. There have been people who have tested their back squat. People who are testing their push jerk
Yep.
today.
There have been also some workout, like
there have
Met
been
contests
some
as well.
conditioning pieces that we've also
I'm still sore for the burpees on Monday.
been focusing on as well. So like certain aspects. Tomorrow's workout, which will be Friday. I mean, you guys have already heard. You guys will be hearing this a week later, but there is the main gymnastic movement we've been focusing on has been toes to bar.
Yep.
So there is a toes to bar endurance workout tomorrow where there's like rowing and push-ups and double unders. But the main juicy part of the conditioning piece that slowed most people down is the toes to bar.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see. So we
So,
did that
yeah.
workout how many weeks ago?
So this will be the third time we've tested it.
Okay.
We first saw it on June 20th.
Yeah,
We saw it again in early September, and now at the end or middle
middle of November.
of November. Yeah.
Okay, very cool.
So we're doing a bunch of cool tests this week. Our athletes have been killing it. So many people have already PR'd.
Yeah, it's very it's such a fun time. This week is always such an energizing week in the program because people have been so dedicated over the last 11 and a half weeks, and so it's kind of like what we've been working towards, the building towards moment. So it's really like the peak, which is a little disappointing that I haven't been feeling my best.
Yeah, personally,
I'm not peaking.
Personally, it's an emotional roller coaster for many reasons because I personally feel like I'm at one of the fittest I've been in a long time. And I feel like I've trained really, really hard over the last 12 weeks.
Yeah.
There's been like
You
obviously
have.
certain circumstances that have popped up. Getting a cold, not sleeping so great. That's affected so many things. And then I PR'd my sumo deadlift on Monday, which
Hell
was
yeah.
freaking crazy. Hit 425, which was
Hell
awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy, babe.
And then tried the back squat, unfortunately, yesterday, and just my rib locked up. It's an injury that kind of happens to me every like year to 2 years. It's something that I've dealt with for maybe the last 8 years.
So frustrating.
So I felt it in one of the warm-up sets, and I put on some more weight, and I was like, okay, just brace really, really hard. And as soon as I stood up with the bar, instantly my rib just like jammed up. It's freaking annoying. It's frustrating.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
So
I feel for you, babe.
I've just kind of been frustrated, and I've told myself, you know what? Just get better this week. Let your body recover.
Right.
Just move, doing some light, like lower intensity, light biking, upper body work. Just moving this week, and then I'm going to retest all of these things next week. But you've also been going through your tail end of the cold as well.
So I only actually started to feel sick on Monday night. So I think I PR'd my sumo deadlift also on Monday, which was good. I got that in.
Hell yeah.
And then 210.
Nice. Strong.
And then we had a 7-minute burpee to target test, which was a redo. And the last time I did the workout, I did 101 reps. And this time I did 99 reps, and it was like heartbreaking. It was like the last 45 seconds, I was like, I'm not going to make it.
Yeah.
So that was fun. But I mean, I was super happy. I know that it was like a really good score anyways, and I was really happy with my execution. But wow, it was so close. Like just 3 more burpees.
Yeah. So that being said, Susan and I are going to focus on getting healthy for this week, and then we're probably going to tackle that stuff next week.
Yeah, otherwise I haven't worked out the rest of this week.
We're going to work out together next week. We'll have to do some of those tests together.
Oh, yay.
But yeah, so that's our personal experience. Has been, just like I said before, like an emotional roller coaster. But on the flip side of things, it has been really, really cool to see all of the members tackle it.
Yeah.
Something that we put up a little poll on, not a poll, but a little questionnaire on Instagram. And one of the things we asked was, do you guys have any topics that you want us to cover?
Yeah, for the podcast.
And shout out to Justin, because he said we should be discussing like what happens for the people who PR during the training cycle and not on PR day, let's say on week 12.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good topic to discuss.
I feel like that's been me in all the other 12-week cycles, so I can relate to that.
Mm-hmm. I think we've talked about this earlier into our podcast.
Yeah.
Probably one of the beginning podcasts that we've done, one of the earlier ones. But the longer you are into your fitness journey, the harder it becomes to hit a PR, a personal record.
Exactly.
Hitting the heaviest weight you've done, or hitting the fastest pace or fastest Metcon. It becomes more and more challenging to do that, and more work is required to get to that point.
Yeah.
So right now
you kind of do that exponential growth at the beginning, where almost every single time you pick up the bar, you're PRing because you're in the learning phase. And then once you've kind of had a little bit of a solid base and you've got some realistic numbers, then trying to PR from there, it's a slow crawl.
Yep. So that being said, our gym is relatively newer. We've been open for about 16 months now, I believe.
Which is a baby.
So right now we're taking people through also their early stages of their fitness career.
Yeah.
And for people who have PR'd along the way, let's say on week 10, maybe even again on week 11, and then show up to, let's say, test week or test day and don't hit a PR, you have already hit a personal record. You've already hit a personal best. You have trained really, really hard along the way. And you have to realize, you have to mentally prepare for this, that you are not going to hit a PR every single time you go into the gym. That's just unfortunately not how it works.
Even like more broad than that, because I feel like most people realize they're not going to PR every day, but you're not going to PR every single time you try to PR.
Yeah, that's
like,
definitely something.
I think that's something that it's just like a nuanced difference from what you said, but it's people think on test day, up until a certain point in their CrossFit career, they always hit a new number.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it feels like you've been robbed of the experience if you don't. But it's just a testament to the fact that you are so on the edge of your potential that it's so hard to always get that number over. So, you know, you should be really, really stoked about hitting PR along the way.
Yeah.
That's already 100 times better than not ever hitting a PR.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if they're following the training cycle, eventually they're going to PR.
Right.
And providing the athlete puts in like the effort
Required.
throughout the process, right?
Yeah.
If you just want to show
go
up
heavy during the training sessions, don't expect to go heavy on the test day.
If you want to show up and give 60-70% effort, well, you're not going to end up hitting a PR at the end here, but that's very unlikely.
That doesn't happen.
Most people are going to want to put in the effort.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
and they have been putting in the effort.
Yeah. So also you have to understand the difference between, so when you show up for test day, you have to understand the difference between training and testing. On training, you're trying to build some sort of adaptation of improvement. So in strength stuff, you have to challenge yourself.
Yeah.
And you're trying to lift a percent of the heavy weight. You're not trying to reach your limits every single time when you are strength training. When you're doing the training stuff, you're trying to lift heavy weights and trying to build muscle breakdown, whether that's just you trying to build force and power. There's a lot of, or let's say on the conditioning side of things, you're trying to build like an aerobic base, or you're trying to build the mental toughness to keep pushing for faster and more repetitions.
Right.
So there's always some sort of adaptation you're trying to get during the training block, let's say the 11 weeks. And then on week 12, when you show up, you're trying to really test your limits.
Yeah.
So if you PR'd along the way, then that is a testament of you building a really, really good strength adaptation and being able to hit numbers that you've never hit before during the training block, which is really freaking cool.
Yeah, that's just a complete success.
Yeah.
Just means you were executing well.
Yeah. And what that means is that, okay, in the 7 days, like let's say you PR on week 11 and you don't PR on week 12, it's in the 7 days, could you really get stronger? Like, especially because there's no
training day between them.
You probably didn't train, let's say, the push jerk from 7 days ago. Like you probably trained it on that day, hit a personal record, and then what happens is 7 days later, well, you didn't train for it during that block. You simply were able to, maybe even if you did it properly, then you were trying to go for a heavier weight as opposed to just matching that number.
Right.
And if you were unsuccessful, it doesn't mean that you're not stronger. It just means that maybe you're really close and you just need to put in more training to get
in order to hit that number. That's right.
And that goes the same for conditioning work as well, for the Metcon test, the gymnastic strength, and all that stuff. So you just need to understand the difference between the training block and then the testing week. And sometimes the other thing to note is sometimes that on test day, there are certain variables that happen, like we're sick, for example.
I know.
Maybe your kids kept you up throughout the night and you're not feeling really up to hitting like the optimal strength number on that day.
Right.
There's so many different factors. The weather, stress, work, you have a big project at work or a big project at school, whatever that is, like life hits you, So if you PR'd along the way, then that's freaking incredible. That's such a remarkable feeling.
Achievement.
Yeah. And, you know what? I love to use Caroline for this example here. Yes. Yesterday, she did the back squat. Mm-hmm. She hit a PR at 155 pounds, and then she tried for 160 and then missed that 160. Like, she already hit a personal record. She hit the 155 at a good range of motion. This is something that we've been working on with her. She got low into the squat, stood up with it. She tried 160 and was so freaking close.
Right.
And then she's like, oh, why don't I feel like happy about this right now? But what you got to do is you just got to appreciate every single PR that you get?
I think they're like something that's difficult, like psychologically. I can relate to that feeling
About,
so
like,
much about failing.
Yeah.
But actually, in order to truly test your limits,
Yeah.
failing is a mandatory part of the process.
Yeah.
Because if you don't ever reach failure, if
Mm-hmm.
you don't actually ever reach that weight that you cannot lift, then you don't actually know what your limit is.
Yeah.
So as gut-wrenching as it is, the feeling of failure, just like that feeling of like I can't move this bar and bailing
Mm-hmm.
out of a squat, as kind of like heartbreaking as that moment is, it allows you to feel like, okay, but that number I really did hit was really my all-out best effort.
Yeah. I'll use 2 athletes as an example to what you just said. On Monday, when we did the sumo deadlift, we have Adriana, who's
Yeah.
relatively newer. She hopped in maybe a month ago, I think.
Yeah.
She did the sumo deadlifts at 6 a.m. and she put on like 105 pounds. And she's like, okay, like I think this is my max. And I told her, and I said, there's no thinking involved here. It's a physical test right now. You're going to show me if you can lift a bar or not. So there's not like, oh, I think this is my max. And what's funny is that I had Mafalda in the next class at 9 a.m. say the exact same thing. She's like, oh, I think this is my max. And both of them, ironically, were at the exact same number when they said that. They were both at 105 pounds. I don't know why, but both of them, 2 completely different people at different times of the day, both said the exact same thing to me. And I told them the exact same feedback. There's no thinking involved here. You are testing your limitation right now. It's a physical test. You're going to try to pull that bar off the ground. And if you can, you can. And if you can't, that bar's not going to move.
Yeah, so I guess that they both lifted more than the 105.
Yeah. Adriana finished at 135 pounds, which is 30 pounds over that number that she thought she could lift.
Wild.
And then I think, I can't remember Mafalda's number, but it was somewhere close to that. I think it might even been a little bit heavier, maybe 145. So there's that process of, failing is part of the learning process.
Exactly.
And only when you fail can you actually learn, be like, oh, okay, like this is really my limit.
Yeah.
I
had that experience. The best time I ever had that experience is when we were testing like our traditional deadlifts a few cycles ago. This is a while ago. And I think I was able to deadlift like 215 or something.
Yeah.
And then I went for 220 and the bar didn't even move, not even an inch. Full force, full brace. And like that barbell wasn't going anywhere. And I was like, oh my God, the difference between like being able to lift it at 5 pounds lighter and not.
Yeah. It's not
humbling.
Much. It's not much. And
when you're right at the edge of your limitations, 5 pounds makes a massive difference in ability.
I tell everyone those change plates, those little metal plates, the 2.5 pound plates and the 5 pound plates are the most important plates.
They're the heaviest of the whole gym.
Yeah, you add that 2.5 pounds and it goes from feeling like, yes, I'm a freaking superstar. I'm a hero. I could lift anything to I can't lift this bar anymore. This bar is just crushing me.
Cricket, sorry. Never mind.
Yeah. So there's that process. There's also the mindset of going into the training session or the testing session, I should say. Yep. And you have to go in there with just removing the fear factor. And it's okay if you're feeling a little stressed and maybe you are a little scared, but trying not to be too fearful of failing. You got to go in there. You got to be hungry. You've worked so hard for 11 weeks. It's time to like test your limits here. You got to go in with the mindset of, hey,
I'm going to definitely fail today.
I'm going to do the best effort I can right now in this moment. And that's all I can ask for.
Yep.
I'm going to probably fail a bar. I'm probably going to fail a lift, or, I'm going to be in a position where I'm challenging myself beyond my limitation.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it everything I got to try to lift that bar. Absolutely. Or try to go a little bit faster in that conditioning work. Try to get that 100th burpee on the 7-minute test.
So annoying.
So like if you go in with the mindset of being like, oh, I don't think I'm going to do a PR, or, I don't enjoy lifting heavy weights, or I don't enjoy pushing my limits.
Yeah.
It's just the wrong mentality when you're going into this. Like, you have trained really, really hard for 11 weeks. Go in there and just have fun. Have fun and put in a good effort into it. Just give it the best effort you can. And no matter what the outcome is, you're going to come out of that session fitter, stronger, healthier.
100%.
1% better every day.
And also with more information.
Yeah.
Especially for people who join the cycle at week 8 or week 9.
Which there have been, yeah.
We've had quite a few new people join during this cycle. Yeah. It's a bit ludicrous to think that you're going to see some like insane improvement in just 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
So maybe for those athletes, this test week isn't so much about testing, but setting a benchmark, seeing, okay, I just started CrossFit 3 weeks ago. Let's see what my current, let's say back squat in the example, my back squat weight is. And for them, it'll just be interesting because in 6 months from now, they're going to have a wildly different number.
Yeah. I would still say that they're testing. They're testing their limits for where their fitness level is today.
Did I say that they weren't testing?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean like they weren't testing.
Yeah.
I feel what I meant to say is like they're not testing based on previous numbers.
Yeah.
So like people who are in the cycle have a little bit of a numerical idea of where they were at and where they want to be.
Exactly.
Whereas the new athlete is testing their current level of ability, but based on feel and not based on percentages from last time.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. So it's been an incredible 4 days so far to see how many people have PR'd.
I love it. And everyone's cheering for each other. It's so loud in the gym, like in a beautiful way.
Yeah. Yeah. It's freaking awesome. So let's talk about the next 12 weeks. Should we do that?
What is coming? This is news for me too, guys. So I'm enthusiastically waiting to hear what we are going to do.
What I would say is that we have really cool numbers that we've tested ourselves right now, and we've built a really solid foundation. There has also been a nice jump in our memberships here, and we've had a lot of people jump in, like you said, on week 8, week 10. We've had people jump in this week.
Yeah.
We had like the 2 of the vet girls.
Tech girls from Pure Fond Animal Hospital.
Who were testing their back squat. One of the girls, I think, had like an ACL surgery like last year.
Oh my God.
And she wrote that she did first time squatting in like a year or whatever. So it's really impressive. So there's a lot of people that have kind of hopped in, like you said, at the end, and they've kind of laid this foundation of their benchmarks and where they are. I don't want to give away too much in this next 12 weeks, but just it's cool to know that we have now this many people
who are going to be starting at week 1.
Starting a new 12-week cycle.
I love that.
It's going to kind of overlap during the holiday period, but it's going to set us up nicely for when the open rolls around.
Ooh.
Right? I actually saw a Facebook post today. The open is coming up in, I think, 113 days or 112 days.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, some things that we could be expecting is we're going to be coming away from the sumo deadlift.
I like the sumo deadlift.
The sumo deadlift, we will be coming away from it. But the main reason we worked on the sumo deadlift was to really work on the hinging mechanics.
Yeah.
So learning how to bend at the hips, learning how to keep your back nice and straight. So we're going to be moving on to the conventional deadlift.
Yep.
We have been working a lot on toes to bar. We're going to be going into a gymnastic phase, strength skill on the pull-up.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that.
I think that's great. I think there are a lot of people who are hungry for those first few pull-ups in our community.
Especially because we see the pull-up roll around come
in the
open time.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be doing back squats again.
I love a back squat.
The back squats are going to be coming away from lower reps, higher weight. We're going to be doing higher reps. So rep schemes of like 8 to 10 reps, which is how we actually started our sumo deadlifts. So we're going to be doing that for the back squat now. We're going to be building on that lower body strength, but we're going to be doing a lot of reps at the beginning.
Love it.
And we're going to continue to work on the Olympic lifting, especially towards the open time. We're going to see cleans. We're going to see some snatches. So we're going to keep working on that.
Love those.
Yeah.
I love those.
Yeah. And we're going to be doing some tempo. We're going to keep the tempo in. We did tempo back squats in the previous cycle, but we're going to be doing some tempo push press.
Wow.
So really learning how to slow down the resistance on the way down of a barbell, so you know how your front rack position should be. It's going to build a ton of strength in the shoulders.
Be so valuable to a lot of to everybody.
For everyone, for sure. And it's going to help us down the line understand the movement mechanics of how to dip and drive with the legs.
Yeah.
How to eventually connect multiple repetitions of push press together.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. So I won't give any more details than that.
I was like, there's other things, but you're purposely leaving them out?
Purposely leaving them out.
Okay.
But those are
Stay tuned, everybody.
Those are kind of the major focuses that we're going to see.
So
we're going to get a lot
booty gains is what I heard.
We're going to get a lot of CrossFit mixed in there as well. Don't you worry. We're going to get a lot of Metcons in there. We're going to continue the cardio and cardio sessions. That's a staple into the program.
I love our cardio sessions so much.
But for those of you guys who have worked really, really hard for the last 12 weeks, it's been really, really cool to see how hard you guys have been training. Just alone, not even the test week, just how hard you guys have been making it to the gym, lifting heavy stuff, getting uncomfortable, cheering each other on.
Yep.
That is freaking cool. And in this week so far, it's been incredible to see the energy in here. You guys pumping each other up. You guys hitting personal records, weights that you guys have never.
It's so fun watching people go for a PR.
Like you guys are hitting weights that you've never hit before in your entire life. Maybe even weights that you've thought you've never could ever lift. You're seeing numbers on the bar that you're like, oh shit, like I'm lifting like 200 pounds. Like this is crazy, you know?
Yeah.
So
love to see it.
It's really,
Keep
really
it up,
cool.
Guys. Keep crushing
Let's bring that fun energy into the next 12 weeks. And on that note, let's talk about someone who has been absolutely crushing it.
Pew, 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 pew,
Client
pew.
of the week is someone that brings a fun energy to the groups, a fun energy to the community. She's
so dedicated to her fitness.
She is super dedicated.
She's just honestly such a light in, I think, everything that she touches.
How tall is she?
I don't know, like 5 feet.
Barely 5 feet.
She's a teeny weeny.
Sweetheart.
But I feel like
smiles all the time.
I think anybody in the world who knows her loves her.
Super tan. Super shredded also.
Shredded. She's like MILF goals AF. Only I'm allowed to say that.
Then I will let you announce who that person is.
And the client of the week is Caroline.
Shout out to you, Caroline. You are a really fun addition to our community the last few months. We're lucky to have you and George. You guys are just a ball of energy and a ball of fun to have in the groups.
So awesome.
Also,
they always send it. She's just super coachable. I'm always telling her to add more weight on her bar, and she always listens to me like a good girl.
I also want to shout out her sumo deadlift because it's so impressive. She hit a PR on Monday.
Oh yeah, this is crazy. She's an animal.
Again, 5 feet tall. It's crazy. She probably weighs like what?
120 pounds.
120 pounds. Yeah. And she hit a sumo deadlift of 270 pounds on Monday.
Oh yeah, and you know what?
That
she's
is
so
crazy.
She comes up to me and she's like, "I feel like I should have been able to hit 275." And I was like, "Caroline, you're an animal. This is crazy."
Maybe she could have. But super impressive.
Yeah.
Thanks, Caroline, for being super fun, super
we
fit,
love you.
And always bringing a positive vibe to the groups. All right, guys.
That's it.
That's a wrap.
We'll see you in week 1 of the next cycle.
Let's go. I'm stoked. All right, guys. Catch you in the next episode. See ya.
Later.